Let's begin by getting you all the big updates that came in from Maharashtra last evening as Minister Nawab Malik has been remanded to ED custody till March 3rd. Now, the probe agency has made explosive allegations against the NCP minister. The ED has said that Malik funded the Dawood terror network through younger sister Hasina Parker. The probe agency has said in court that Malik funded prominent D gang members to get illegal control of property, and he's also charged with money laundering. While seeking Nawab Malik's custody, the ED claimed that the Maharashtra minister is a key conspirator and also beneficiary of the entire charade. As Malik spends time in the probe agency's custody, a big political fight, as expected, has exploded outside. NCP has alleged that the Modi government is misusing central agencies to settle personal scores with Malik. On the other hand, BJP has demanded Nawab Malik's resignation and threatened to protest if he doesn't step down. The NCP has made it clear, meanwhile, that Nawab Malik is not going to resign.
और जहां तक मंत्री इस्तीफा नहीं देंगे, ये सरकार ने ली हुई भूमिका है, मुझे इस बात का बहुत दुख है। राजनीति का स्तर अगर इतना गिरेगा तो इससे बहुत एक बैड प्रेसिडेंट हम लोग क्रिएट करेंगे कि दाऊद जैसे देश के दुश्मन को मदद जिनके माध्यम से हुई, उनको बचाने के लिए और उनका मंत्री पद बचाने के लिए पूरी सरकार उनके पीछे खड़ी है। मुझे लगता है कि इसका देश को जवाब इस सरकार को देना पड़ेगा।
इस्तीफा उनका नहीं लिया जाएगा क्योंकि उन्होंने कोई भी गलत काम नहीं किया है। ये सिर्फ उनके ऊपर वो अटैक करते थे, विरोधी पक्ष के ऊपर, इसलिए जो है उनको सजा दी जा रही है। ये पीएमएलए का केस ही नहीं है कुछ वहाँ। पीएमएलए का केस कहाँ है? पूरे सारे जो हिस्ट्री जो है, दाऊद का ये है, दाऊद का भाई ये है, दाऊद की बहन ये है, क्या अब ये सारे जो जिसका क्या संबंध होता है, वो मेरे ख्याल से हम सब लोग जो सुनते थे क्या क्या हो रहा है, और ये हम जब देखते हैं इसकी तरफ, तब ये लगता है कि उनका कोई भी दोष नहीं है।
And let's get you the details also of the political fight that's broken out between the Maha Vikas Aghadi and the BJP over Nawab Malik's arrest. The BJP is now saying that the minister must resign. The Maharashtra government has remained defiant, saying that Malik will not step down and referring to all of this as a witch hunt.
A Mahayuddh is unfolding in Maharashtra. As the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi and the BJP engage in a fierce stare-down, who will blink first? In a surprise swoop down by the Enforcement Directorate, sitting NCP Minister Nawab Malik was grilled, arrested and remanded to custody in less than 12 hours on Wednesday for his alleged link to the D Company. Nawab Malik has declared an open war. After hours of grilling, the Mantri walked out of the ED office with a smirk on his face and his fist punching in the air. He publicly sounded the bugle for war. The BJP is upping the ante in Maharashtra, calling for Nawab Malik to put down his papers.
और जहां तक मंत्री इस्तीफा नहीं देंगे, ये सरकार ने ली हुई भूमिका है, मुझे इस बात का बहुत दुख है। राजनीति का स्तर अगर इतना गिरेगा तो इससे बहुत एक बैड प्रेसिडेंट हम लोग क्रिएट करेंगे कि दाऊद जैसे देश के दुश्मन को मदद जिनके माध्यम से हुई, उनको बचाने के लिए और उनका मंत्री पद बचाने के लिए पूरी सरकार उनके पीछे खड़ी है। मुझे लगता है कि इसका देश को जवाब इस सरकार को देना पड़ेगा।
But the Aghadi government remains defiant despite the arrest, saying Malik will not step down.
इस्तीफा उनका नहीं लिया जाएगा क्योंकि उन्होंने कोई भी गलत काम नहीं किया है। ये सिर्फ उनके ऊपर वो अटैक करते थे, विरोधी पक्ष के ऊपर, इसलिए जो है उनको सजा दी जा रही है।
The NCP has accused the centre of vendetta politics against them. even going to the extent of giving the arrest a communal spin.
Prevention of money laundering comes when the transaction or allegation is above 100 crore. This charges, this transaction, this deal has been taken 15 to 17 years old case. And because he's a Muslim, that is why you're trying to link with Dawood Ibrahim.
The Shiv Sena has sharpened its attack on the BJP, saying it can never face the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi face to face. The BJP's rivals are rallying behind the Maharashtra government, accusing the centre of misusing central agencies.
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी जिस समय घबराती है, इस तरह की एजेंसियों को सामने ला करके लोगों को अपमानित करती है, झूठे मुकदमे लगा करके जेल भेजती है। हमने कई बार देखा है, यहाँ पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने बताया था कि उनको खतरा है, टेररिस्ट अटैक हो सकता है विधानसभा में। कोई पुड़िया निकली थी और बाद में वो पुड़िया निकली बुरादा, लकड़ी का घिसा हुआ पाउडर। तो ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, किसी को भी अपमानित कर सकते हैं।
West Bengal Chief Minister dialed NCP Chief Sharad Pawar to express her support. In another ugly battle between the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi and centre, more sensational twists are likely to tumble out from Maharashtra. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's move on to some other stories also that we're tracking this Thursday morning. Amid the raging hijab fight, the Karnataka government has blamed PFI-linked student body, that's the Campus Front of India, for the protests. The council for Udupi's S.S. Naganand PU College told the High Court that CFI is a radical organisation that's spearheading the protests in support of hijab and provoking students. The college also alleged that CFI has threatened a few faculty members and that a police complaint has also been filed. The court has now asked the Karnataka government to submit intelligence input on the CFI. The Mumbai government will submit the report to the court in a sealed cover today. Now, the council for the college as well as the CDC, which is the College Development Committee, they've completed their arguments. The petitioners have sought time now for rejoined arguments as well. The hearing in the matter is underway since February 10th. Karnataka students and really the entire nation is awaiting clarity. And we here at India Today have been constantly getting you every update on the hijab story. We were the first to get you that news break as well. And since then have ensured non-stop coverage from all sides. We spoke to one of the petitioners in the hijab case in the Karnataka High Court and also what the interim order means to students, the impact of the hijab protests on students in the exam season.
You know, to begin with, I want to ask you, what really has happened in court vis-a-vis the arguments that have been heard. For example, today these arguments have been going on for days together. Do tell us more about what your arguments essentially have been.
So, I think actually today the reason I'm here is just to request one thing, like we have been requesting with the government and with the PU board to postpone our exams because the judgment is going on and it is delaying day by day, and till the final judgment is taking place we just want our practical exams to be postponed, which is on 28th of Feb.
You know, the Karnataka government has said this loud and clear in the past as well, that it's a choice that these students, all of you petitioners, have to make in this matter, whether you choose religion first or whether you choose education first. What do you have to tell the Karnataka government?
Actually, I would like to ask the same question with the government, whoever are questioning us, like what is important to you, education or your religion? I would like to ask the same question in a different way. Like, is it important for them, like our uniform is important or education? Why are they, why are they tallying between our uniform and our education? Why are they making such a big issue just on the uniform? Just because we are wearing the whole uniform, we are just asking for a single cloth on our head. We are just asking for that, and they are, dragging this issue so far. And I would like to say another thing. We live in a secular country, and here we have all the rights to practice our religion and education both. There should not be a choice between our faith and education.
Moving on, Gangubai Kathiawadi, the Sanjay Leela Bhansali film has hit headlines again. This time it's legal trouble for the Alia Bhatt star. Multiple cases have been slapped against the film, raising objections over its name. Hearing the petitions, the Supreme Court has now suggested that the filmmaker change the name before it hits theatres. The lawyers of Bhansali Productions will be submitting their response to the Apex Court's suggestion today. This is in fact the third Bhansali film to have fallen into a name change controversy after Golio Ki Ras Leela, Ram Leela and Padmavat. Remember, the much-awaited Gangubai Kathiawadi is slated to be released this Friday. We're getting you the latest updates this morning on the Russia-Ukraine conflict as well, and the latest ground reports as India Today's Gaurav Sawant is reporting from Ground Zero in Donetsk, where artillery shelling and ceasefire violations have multiplied in the last 72 hours. 70% of this province is with Ukraine. 30% has been recognized as a separate country by Russia.
Destruction openly visible in this area. Of course, now there is massive police presence and military presence in this area. You can look at bombed and pockmarked houses here, but what you can also see is movement of the Ukrainian army in this area. Ukrainian army movement has intensified. As you can see, police vehicles and Humvees now all along this area, patrolling this area. There is tremendous tension. Why? Because in Donetsk, which is now openly disputed, what do you see? You see 30% of this area in control of the Russians, who say that this entire Donetsk belongs to the Republic of Donetsk. What do you see here? This house damaged, pockmarked in shelling, and there are similar signs almost all over, and that is why people have abandoned this area. For example, that building there, the adjoining building there, people who have the means, they've either moved to Kiev or some others to Mariupol, because their apprehension is, the fear is, anytime Russian forces could roll in to this area. What has happened so far? There have been roadblocks, checkpoints put up by the Ukrainian army in multiple locations, even at sea. The Black Sea is very close, and Russia just across the Black Sea, narrowest at this point. Mines have been laid, sea mines have been laid, and people here have been asked not to either venture out at sea or even take boats out at sea, because there could be mine damage. War clouds very clearly on the horizon here. With cameraman Pavan Kumar at Donetsk at the Russia-Ukraine dispute spot, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. Sir, how bad is the situation at this village?
Ну, очень нехорошая обстановка, что русские пришли в Украину и сюда лезут, обстреливают нашу территорию. Аппетиты очень большие у них. Захватить Украину, Донбасс, Украину. Но мы не боимся, мы встретим их. Встретим, как их встретили в Афганистане и в Чечне. Пусть приходят.
Lilia, how bad is the situation here in this village at the Russia-Ukraine border?
Но я думаю, что Россия и Украина не должны воевать друг с другом. Это славянский народ, мы одной крови. Ну и, конечно, обидно, что так все сложилось, вот такая вот ситуация. Очень бы этого не хотелось бы.
After a clean sweep against the West Indies in both the ODIs and the T20 internationals, India's next assignment starts today against their neighbours Sri Lanka. Rohit Sharma's men will be looking for yet another whitewash against a team that's ranked 8 places lower than them.
India versus New Zealand T20 International.
3-0 versus New Zealand in the T20 Internationals.
They blanked the West Indies 3-0.
3-0 against the West Indies in both limited over series.
Managed to blank them 3-0 as well.
The Rohit Sharma era in Indian cricket is off to a best possible start. But now they have new opponents to conquer, the Sri Lanka. And the Indian captain is excited to lead the side. After all, Sri Lanka's tour of India is his first assignment after being given the reins in all 3 formats.
It's a huge honor, and it's obviously the great feeling to be captaining India in all 3 forms. obviously, I mean, I have a lot of challenges to look forward to now. Once the opportunity came through, I was glad and, very happy to be captaining the team. We've got a solid bunch of guys. So looking forward to, lead them on the park and see what we can create on the field.
India are in tremendous form. They have won all their last 9 T20 internationals.
What a performance by India.
With 2 clean sweeps against New Zealand and the West Indies, they are now the #1 ranked side in the format as well.
India win by 8 runs.
And they definitely start as favourites against the 9th ranked Sri Lankans, even if there'll be a few key personnel missing for the home side. While the likes of Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant have been rested, India will be without Suryakumar Yadav and Deepak Chahar, who've been ruled out with injuries.
Oh, he's done his hip flexor, it seems.
Suryakumar Yadav, who was adjudged player of the series against the West Indies, will miss the 3 T20Is against Sri Lanka due to a hairline fracture.
Okay, hit it a long way.
And Captain Rohit Sharma believes while Surya's absence is a setback, it is also an opportunity for others to perform.
So Surya's injury obviously is a setback. He was in great form, as you saw in the last series. He was man of the series. So obviously it's a setback. But again, there are so many players, so many guys who are waiting here to get an opportunity. I'm more than happy for them to come in and, fill in.
India, though, will welcome pacer Jasprit Bumrah back into the side, who has also been named Rohit's deputy for the series.
India have their first.
The Lankans, meanwhile, are coming to India on the back of a 1-4 series loss to the Australians down under. They'll also be without their star all-rounder Wanindu Hasaranga, who is still in isolation in Australia after returning another positive PCR test. And while the visitors can prove to be tricky opponents, anything other than a 3-0 sweep shouldn't suffice for the home side. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Indian wicketkeeper batsman Wriddhiman Saha may have refrained from revealing the name of the journalist who threatened him. But in an exclusive interview with India Today, Saha explains exactly what transpired that led to this outburst of his on social media. Even though Saha still hasn't revealed the name, here in his own words, what this entire controversy is about.
दादा, आपने एक ट्वीट किया था जहां पे किसी का नाम ना लेते हुए किसी पत्रकार ने आपको धमकाया था, थ्रेटन किया था, ऐसा ही कुछ आपने लिखा था उसमें।
मेरा मेन वही पॉइंट था कि जो मैं इतने साल से खेलने के बाद जो मैं कभी किसी के साथ वैसे बात नहीं किया, एज ए जर्नलिस्ट भी बोल सकते हो, नॉर्मल इंसान भी बोल सकते हो, और मेरे साथ भी ऐसा हुआ नहीं अभी तक। तो ये होने के बाद मुझे वो अच्छा नहीं लगा कि जैसे उसने लिखा है SMS में, तो एक बार नहीं वो दोबारा हुआ है। तो वो देखने के बाद
उन्होंने ये पहले भी किया था आपके साथ?
हाँ, वो ट्विटर में मेंशन है शायद डेट वाइज। तो पहले एक था, फिर 1-2 दिन बाद और एक था, वैसे कुछ।
उनको बेसिकली चाहिए क्या था, एक इंटरव्यू?
हाँ, नॉर्मली मैं सबको बोल रहा था कि इधर आके ग्राउंड के बाद ग्राउंड में ख़त्म करना चाहता था, मगर उनका थोड़ा डिमांड वैसा था कि वो स्काइप में या जूम में ऐसे कॉल में, जो मैं उतना एग्री नहीं था। वो लॉकडाउन के टाइम वो चला गया, अभी तो नहीं है, तो अभी सब जो हो रहा है इधर ही हो रहा था, तो मैं उसमें एग्री नहीं कर रहा था, सबको सेम समझता हूँ इसलिए। और नहीं, वो थोड़ा पुश करा रहा था। मैं बोला कि घर में जाके अगर मुझे अच्छा लगेगा तो मैं दूंगा, अगर नहीं दिया तो समझ लो कैसे।
फिर उन्होंने आपको कॉल किया जो उसी मैसेज में लिखा है कि आपने कॉल बैक नहीं किया?
हाँ, तो उसका कॉल आया था, मैं रिसीव, उस टाइम में IPL का ऑक्शन हुआ था, तो उसी टाइम कॉल आया था, तो वही दिन का बात है। और बाकी उसके बाद जो SMS भेजा था वही, तो वो अच्छा नहीं लगा था बस।
कहीं लगता है आपको ये मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गया दोनों के बीच में, या फिर उनका इंटेंशन ही ऐसा था कि मैसेज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ही थ्रेटनिंग था?
नहीं, ये तो SMS लिखने का टाइम उन्होंने क्या सोच के लिखा है वो तो मुझे पता नहीं है, मगर मेरे पास जो मैसेज है उसका मीनिंग तो ये निकलता है कि मैं उनको नहीं दे के सही नहीं किया।
थ्रेटनिंग जिसको कहते हैं।
हाँ,
तो इसको लेके आपने ट्वीट किया, लेकिन इस पत्रकार का आपने नाम नहीं दिया।
हाँ, तो मेरा पर्पस वही था कि ऐसे भी अभी का ज़माने में भी ऐसे भी रिपोर्टर्स या जर्नलिस्ट कोई भी बोल सकते हो कि अभी भी वो है सबके बीच में, जो सबको जानना चाहिए कि ऐसे भी लोग भी होते हैं। तो ये शायद मैं भी नेक्स्ट स्टेप कोई अगर लेना चाहते हैं, जैसे मान लीजिए कोई और कोई किसी को इंटरव्यू लेना चाहते हैं, तो एक बात बोलने से पहले 2 बार सोचेंगे कि ये बात बोलना सही है कि नहीं, कौन कैसे रिएक्ट कर सकता है, मतलब हर एक का टाइम तो सेम नहीं होता है, टाइम दे पाएंगे कि नहीं, उसके हिसाब से अगर बोलेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा। मतलब
म्यूचुअल रिस्पेक्ट देना चाहिए सभी।
हाँ, वही सबका एक मतलब लीगल वे, मतलब प्रॉपर वे होना चाहिए, जैसे नहीं कि तुम देखो नहीं तो तुम खराब हो गए वैसे।
And for more such reports, do log on to our website indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. It's time for me to slip into a short break here on First Up. I'll be right back, so do stay tuned.